Hey everybody, welcome back. Bill in Virginia here, and I am still plugging away at laying track for the On30 build. What I'm doing now is I'm getting actually close to having the last of the track in place. I'm starting here on this episode, work my way up, and I will put in something to fill that gap. But what I'm doing is I'm getting the track in place, and in this area I will drop a couple of feeders. So what I did is where I wanted my track to be, I took a black felt tip marker and did a little spot just right near the end of the track, and then I came in and drilled a hole just ever so slightly this way on it, so that it would kind of lined up underneath where the joiner would be. I got this piece of track cut and everything's ready. Excuse me, I got a mouthful of cheese and olives. And I've been making my own powered joiners. So you can see I'm using a scrap piece of track. I've slipped a joiner onto the rail. What I did is I roughed the back of the joiner up with my diamond file, added just a slight amount of flux, cut my wire, cut a very, very small piece of the insulation off, and then hooked it so that I got a 90-degree angle, put a little bit of flux on it, and then solder from my soldering gun. And it just takes a quick little instant, and then I've got a rail joiner that's electrically wired here. And let's see if I can get that in frame. You know, it's centered, and I run that the 90-degree lengthwise to it so that it goes down in about the middle point. So that should line up pretty good with those holes that I'm drilling. So that at least on these, when you're looking down, you don't see a wire. It's a good solid connection. I did that on my HO scale layout, and it's working well on this. My O scale I did a little bit different, but most of that's going to be hidden anyway. So I'm going to get a little bit farther along on this. I'm going to wire up a few more feeders, and I should be able to run a train completely around the layout here very soon. It is late Saturday evening, and I'm guessing by the time I'm done on Sunday, I should be running some trains. So more to come. So it is the end of Saturday, and I'm wrapping it up for the day. My little work area is sufficiently cluttered to make it look like I've done some stuff today, which I have. I have the track all laid, and joiners added, and everything unkinked on this side. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is I will put in a temporary piece in here where I'm going to build that long bridge. That way I can connect the track completely. I will run my bus wires, even though you can't see it very well, black and red, on the On30, and I'll temporarily wire it up to the Tech 2 power pack that I've got over there, because I'll just be running this one for a while. Although I think some of my other On30 stuff that I've got is both DC and DCC. I'll have to get some stuff down and look at the boxes, but I will finish up this little area tomorrow as well, from that switch to that switch. Maybe run it into here, and you know what, I might get this done too. We'll see. But the primary thing tomorrow is going to be running some power so I can run trains completely around on the layout and just see how things are. So more to come. Well, it is Sunday evening, and I'm about ready to wrap it up. I have basic wiring completed on the On30, and my little engine is doing a pretty good job here. So it's hesitating on the switches, and that's because I don't have it juiced yet. So I will work this week to put switches in, or switch machines in place, and that will power those so that hesitation should go away. And I will also bring down some additional equipment and have a little fun to see how this all works. But this is going to be a fun little part on the layout. So what I will do is I will run a variety of equipment on this, make sure that it works and I don't have any issues. And then I will start to glue down the track. And I'm not going to do everywhere on the track. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift it up and I'm going to do a couple of inches here and there, just every foot or so, maybe 1.5 feet, 2 feet, so that it's glued down. But it's not completely glued down, because once I do ground cover and different things around it, I'll be using dilute white glue, and you know, that'll tie it into the scenery and everything else. But this little engine's working pretty good. So I'm going to get the O scale running at the same time, and we'll take some video of that next. So before I run the O scale, you can see I've got a mess of wiring right in the front. So this is all temporary, just so that I could hook up that Tech 2 power pack and let it run. I have to figure out what I'm going to do for you know, DCC on this, and then I'll finish the wiring. But right now I've got it just temporary so that I can make sure things work. I've got some ideas on little junction boxes on each corner there, so that I can do an easier tie-in instead of just getting down on my knees. That'll come a little later. Anyway, let's get the O scale running. So I've let the trains run for an hour. Unattended, just me sitting back, enjoying watching them go. No derailments, no hesitations, except as already noted at the switches, and I'll take care of that. It's pretty good. I've not had any worry about track separating, even though I haven't soldered any connections. You know, the way I've got my feeders, they're drilled through the roadbed and sub-roadbed, so actually the wires hold the track in position pretty well, even on the inclines and declines. So this is good. I'm happy about this. Once I get the switch machines all wired and I figure out exactly how I'm going to do my wiring here, I will start the glue process, and actually I still will add a couple of more supports in a couple of areas. Then I'll start gluing track and then making some cuts at the table separation points and see how that works. But that's a little bit later down the road. We'll see what other mischief I can get into this coming week. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to sit back and watch trains run for a little while and then call it for a weekend. This coming week I will start putting in the switch machines. I'll get those wired up and figure out how I'm going to do the control panel for those. Yeah, I'm going to like that when I get scenery in and the other bridges. That's going to be fun to watch. All right, keep having fun on your layouts. Until next time.